I came across a drifting ship. I took a look inside. I found a note that someone wrote that said, take her for a ride. I set a course for sights unseen, went out to open sea. To my surprise, a bunch of sailors joined along with me. Now we're sailing on the mystery ship, and all the sailors here are really hip. There isn't any cost of membership. All you gotta do is join our trip. Yeah, I'm the captain of the mystery ship, and I'm a-calling all aboard this ship. I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy it up on the mystery ship. So bring a friend and come along with us aboard the mystery ship.
Well, good Wednesday. Good Wednesday evening to all. How you doing out there? It is your brother Zoe coming to you aboard the mystery ship. And I am pleased to tell you we got a mystery guest this evening. I am tickled pink to let you know that my dear brother, the Texan, is going to be joining us in just a couple minutes. I'll say a few hellos, make sure we're broadcasting everywhere we are supposed to be live, and bring him on in. And folks, it's going to be a very, very fun and I think informative evening for you. Texan and I have been playing around with different kind of formats and not just doing our video music thing. And I think we've cooked up a good one for you this evening. It should be pretty darn interesting, to say the least. I'm going to take a quick peek around the horn. Let's go to the home of free speech in America, the home of the champion, I might add. The champions will be doing battle again next Wednesday night. A week from tonight will be the next platform Curvia challenge. So they're wearing that badge for another week proudly. They don't really brag too much. Good to see you guys over there. LT in the house. Ziggy from down under. Good to see you. Due diligence, bringing the gold pill of my brother. Good to see you. Purple Pixie in the house. Girl Patriot, how are you doing, darling? Always good to see you, my dear sister. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and doing all that modding that you do. It is awesome. Awesome. This is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, Purple Pixie says she's found the secret of, is that spelled correctly? Pilling boiled eggs? Piling boiled eggs? I'm not much of a chef, so I wouldn't really know. All right. We are live at Pilled Foxhole. That is wonderful. That is perfect, in fact. Let me sneak on over to Rumble and see if we are rumbling. Yes, we are live at Rumble. That is a beautiful thing. How about over at the Tube? Oh, we're tubing it right now. We are definitely tubing it right now. I bitch slap Satan. Good to see you. How you doing, my friend? Hope. She says there is a snowstorm heading towards Maine, and I visited them. I know where they're at. It's way up there. She's darn near to Canada. I saw pictures of my cousin's house with snow all over the ground. Yeah, it's got to be pretty serious. Pretty serious stuff. How about over here at D Live? Oh, yes. The sailors are here. Wait, you got In and Out tonight, Spudley? That's what a hamburger's all about? Like Shelby. It's like an echo almost. I saw what was wrong. The old In and Out. Yes, some weird muffling. Mic is distorted. Really? Strange. Who is the Queen of Canada? Shelby is the Queen of Canada. Yes, she must be. She must be. Okay, we are. Val Kimber is in the house. TL Spud is with us. Bad Zoot saying hello from Indiana. Very nice. We've got sailors pouring in. Artist 61 is there. Silbor reached out to me a little bit ago, said he would be dropping by. Sounds, it's a bit better now. It's a bit better now. What is going on? Something going on with my microphone? I need to know. Okay. Well, we are live everywhere we are supposed to be live. I'm going to share a little photo with you here. Okay. This is this is what my dear brother, the Texan, has been up to for the last. I'm sure he'll tell us. What is going on. He is ready. He is ready for people. He's ready to have a few people come over. I have to say that looks so damn good right now. It really does. Man. It's making me hungry. I got to tell you, it's been a rough ass day for your brothers, though. Rather rough. But I'm glad to say I'm here. I have been officially awake since 2 a.m. last night. Made work a little difficult, but hey, we're here. All right. I see my brother, the Texan, in the house. And I believe... All right. How did I do this last time? It was so easy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you beautifully.
All right, man. Well, howdy, everybody. Yeah.
Let me hang on just a second. I got to figure out. I got to get you on the screen, and it was so simple last time.
I think I'm on the screen.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure I'm on the screen.
Oh, you are on the screen?
In the studio, I am, and yeah, now I popped up there.
Okay. All right. So then I don't need to do this. We are okay. We're both on. I see it. Well, heck, that's working.
Yeah.
Thank God something's working around here. No, that's beautiful because I can keep this right here where I need it. Hey, that's perfect. That is perfect. How you doing, my man? Good to see you. Are you? I saw that when I showed the chickens. Are you ready for a house full of people over there?
Man, we're working on it. Like I said, I got the chickens done tonight. Yeah, that cooked for 4 hours, and on my smoker out there outside, it was 81 degrees, man. And I was trying to beat a cold front coming through because it's going to get down like in the low 40s, high 30s, and the winds picked up. And man, it was a race against the clock to get them done. But man, they came out. They came out perfect, dude.
You're going to have a 40-degree temperature change from day to night.
It was 81 today. It's supposed to be like in the 40s tonight, and then it'll start warming back up.
Wow. It is currently a brisk 42 here in the garage, and I'm telling you, if it wasn't for 3 layers on, and I don't know where I'd be right now. I am freezing. My fingers are frozen right now. I got a heater to my left, a heater to my right. We'll try to make it work.
I turned the air conditioner off earlier. I had the garage door open and everything, and man, it was nice. And anyway, I turned the air conditioner off, got the fan going, and man, it's like 63 degrees out here now, but the temperature's dropping like a rock right now.
Man.
But yeah, so I beat the cold front, and I got those chickens done, and even cooked some hot dogs for dinner, and got the cornbread done and biscuits to start with the stuffing, and I got, oh my God, man, I got 2 banana breads to make tonight. Trying to help Miss Texan out this year and really get on top of it, man.
That's good. And Mrs. O is in there right now. There was a butterball falling out on the the butcher block first thing this morning, and she's in there. She makes a hell of a stuffing, artichoke hearts, all kinds of good stuff in there, and she's getting started on that tonight. So it's amazing. She's throwing a spread for like 8 or 10 of us, and man, she does it all herself. So I'm really, really impressed.
That's cool, man. Well, Girl Patriot says, turn your sound up, friend, talking to me. So I boosted mine on this end. I don't know how it sounds now.
I've got you boosted up. Are you, folks, let me know what the difference is between the Texans volume and my volume. And if I can do anything to boost that up, I certainly will.
Yeah, it's a little different being on this side of the studio, man. I'm used to.
I understand. It's not much fun on this side either.
Yeah.
Man. Well, you and I, dude, over the course of the last couple of years have had a number of interesting things happen to us health-wise. I mean, I'm your senior by about 10 years or so, something like that. And
About that, yeah.
About a year and a half ago, my not my journey this past summer, but the summer before, when I rolled into Pittsburgh, I had a hell of a scare. I thought for sure I was having a heart attack. And man, I went through some exhaustive testing and expensive testing. I'm still paying that off. But you yourself have also had some pretty interesting health scares in the last, 6 months, particularly back in October was a real good one. You're on the mend now, but the doctors got you on like all kinds of meds while they figure out exactly what's going on with your blood, right?
Yeah. The blood splash, the vampires. Yeah, they're still working it out, trying to figure out what exactly is going on with the blood. I've got some genetic defects, and anyway. But hey, I'm going back to work on this Monday, and so Sunday, 12:01 a.m. Sunday, I'm reporting back to work. Or 12:01 a.m. Monday, I'm reporting back to work. I got to go in Sunday night to be there for 12:01 a.m. Monday morning.
Wow.
And, yeah, I'm going back to work. But yeah, the last 5 months, actually, 5.5 months have been pretty rough, man. All kinds of stuff happening. But I'm thankful to be here, man. I am. I got a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving, brother.
Dude, don't we both? I came, in the last, one of the issues that I'm having as of late is broken sleep. I mean, it is, as I said, I have been awake since 2:00 last night, and it's been recurring. I come home just dog tired from work. There's nights where I swear to God, I fall asleep at 6:30 at night on my bed, and then I'll wake up at 10:30, 11:30, wide awake. Yeah. Just wide awake. I'll come out to the garage. I'll watch some Amazon. I'll watch some Sloan TV. I'll watch Uncle Krusty. Then I drag myself back in about 2:30 and maybe it has been, I mean, the last time I had a good night's sleep, I honestly, I can't remember it. I have been doing some research into this and finding out what it is that can disturb sleep. What can, there are so many factors. And I came across something that I just found absolutely fascinating. And I wanted to run this by you because, you're down there in the good Sun Belt. Okay. You are somebody that could really take advantage of what I'm about to share. I came across a brain surgeon. His name is Dr. Jack Cruz. Have you ever heard of this guy, Jack Cruz?
No, but it sounds like I might have to visit him so he can rewire this.
Well, I'm going to throw this on the air. This is a video. Let me see if I can get this centered up for me. Come on, come work with me, baby. Work with me.
Girl Patriot's asking if you could boost me a little bit. If I go any higher, well, let me try. I don't want to go too high because it'll start distorting. So I don't know what that sounds like, but
okay.
I'll rock with that. See what happens.
All right. I will see what I can do about boosting you on this end. Okay. So I can always knock myself down. I can knock myself down and turn you.
That might work.
Let me try that. So I'm going to play this. This has really interesting, really interesting uh, ramifications. I mean, this guy, he's not talking like this is something he has just discovered. He is talking like he is adamant that he has found uh, a serious missing link in medicine. And he says, they didn't teach us this stuff in medical school. And he's sounding a little bit like a conspiracy theorist. He acted like maybe there's a reason they didn't teach this. But I want to share this. This is really a fascinating video. I'm hoping, I'm not sharing it on the screen, so I don't know if you're going to see it on the StreamYard or if you're going to see it on. Do you have like Pilled on a different screen?
Excuse me. I have Foxhole pulled up. Yeah, but it's like a 45-second delay there. Are you on YouTube also?
Yes, I'm on YouTube. You could certainly watch it on YouTube with only a half-second delay.
Yeah, let me find that. Go ahead and do what you got to do, man.
Okay, I'm going to play this right now. Let us give this a ring. This is a gentleman, again, by the name of, I think it's Jack Cruz, and he is a neurosurgeon, and he made some pretty interesting discoveries. Let me play this for you. Get to the right screen, and away we go.
No sounds, though. It's muted.
What are you saying, my man?
There was no sound. I couldn't hear it on YouTube or here in the studio.
No, really? Okay, so make Karen great again says now there's no sound. Let me go over to YouTube for just a second. There was no sound on the video. Norma Williams says we both sound fine, but there was no sound on the video.
Yeah, I think you forgot to share the audio. I do that quite often myself.
So I am playing it through my OBS. I'm not playing it through. All right, I'm gonna have to do it that way. Let me back it up, and I'm gonna play it through StreamYard. Present, share screen, entire screen. There it is, and turn on the audio. Okay. All right. And if I go here, it goes to the full size, right?
That should be correct.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Light.
All right, boss. There's still no audio. It started with audio, then it went off. Zoe, there's still no audio, man. Brother Zoe, there's no audio.
You're looking at a guy speaking to you right now who doesn't believe pretty much anything he learned in medical school can be taken with any truth. The answers are right in front of us, folks. Even though the answers are right in front of us, if your dopamine level is low, you will not perceive the truth right in front of your face. Energy and mass are exactly the same thing. The only thing that's different is the environment that each side of the equation is in. Now, the pupil is a perfect black box radiator. What does that mean? Because we're doing a little physics here. It means that light can go in and come back. How did I know immediately that UV light got through? I challenge anybody to go to batteries and bulbs, buy a UVA light flashlight, LED, put it in anybody's retina. You know what you'll see? You'll see fluorescence come right back. You don't need anything else. So every time the ophthalmologist, like when I gave this talk 3 months ago and I proved to them, they were full of That's how I did it. I brought a UVA flashlight and shined in all their eyes. I said, what did you see? Explain, based on what we learned in medical school. That shut them up pretty quick. Okay? Because you don't need a lot of photons to see the effect. This is something that everybody in this room can do, reproducible. So when you go to the ophthalmologist, you can say, I don't believe what you're telling. But here's the key. You guys have heard from all your food gurus that you've heard previously talk at all these other years about tryptophan, about tyrosine, about phenylalanine, and histidine. But you know what you don't know about aromatic amino acids? They all absorb UV light. Did you know that? Well, I didn't 12 years ago. But the key thing is the eye is loaded with these amino acids specifically. So that raised a question. Why is this? Well, I found out from physics that a benzene ring, which is in every single aromatic amino acid, is a photon trap. And they absorb all frequencies of UV light. So guess what that means? That 250 to 380 is absorbed by this. That's the reason why we don't see it, because it's designed to do something different. So there's something that started. Pollack's book came out in 2014. There's two researchers named Gelduce and Perparta. In 2000, they found that the EZ forms something called the coherent domain. 13% of the exclusion zone in water, when sunlight hits water, makes something called the coherent domain, which makes 1 million electrons, free electrons, delocalized to run all the biochemical programs. Does anybody know how many biochemical programs run per second in a cell? It's 100,000. Guess what has the control of those enzymatic flux? If you ask any PhD or any nutritionist at all, the answer is they don't know the answer. But guess what? It turns out light frequencies can control all of them by a molecular resonance phenomenon. And that is how biochemistry works. Now, this one is for the McKissick lecture. Everything that she told you is in this slide. So if you want to learn how light works, here you go. This is a protein. UV light hits it. That is a light antenna. It's surrounded by water. Light is an electromagnetic wave that changes to an electromechanical wave. That's called sound. That sound is collected in water. Now, here's the interesting thing. Water is a magnetic dipole. What does that mean? Hydrogen and oxygens, positive and negative. That's the reason why it's tied to magnetism. The first time that we found out that magnetism truly controls sound, Ohio State University Acoustic Phonons 2014. You can look it up. When the light hits here, it's absorbed in the water. That changes the hydrogen bonding networks. What is the physical change? The physical change is the density of the water. That is how this works. Fundamentally, quantum mechanically. Now, here's the interesting thing. Mitochondria makes the cytosolic water that surrounds all the things in the cytosol, including the nucleus and the mitochondria. Where is this connection? Well, for those of you who don't know, the Schumann resonance comes from the interaction of sunlight on the ionosphere of the Earth. That's why people call it the heartbeat of Earth. But it's an electrical tension that develops between the solar plasma and the atmosphere that generates the 7.83 hertz. Why do you need to know about it? What I tell you my day job was, I'm a neurosurgeon, right? The alpha wave in the human brain is 7.83 hertz, exactly the same. So guess what? The solar system entrains you to these solar systems as it comes to Earth. That's how it works, okay? Why is it important? It generates the alpha wave. So when you live in an environment today, you don't have as many alpha waves. Why? Because non-native EMF, what's the number one effect, which you'll learn about later, dehydrates your cells because it lowers your redox potential in your mitochondria. In other words, original slide, you can't make as much water from your own mitochondria. That's where the dehydration comes. And for the ladies in the room or the guys in the room who are not big science people, simple biohack at home, take a piece of steak that you have left over, throw it in the microwave, taste it. What does it taste like? Shoe leather. Why? What do microwaves do? They vibrate and rotate water really fast. It heats up and it dehydrates the meat. It's happening to you right now here in Vermont. It's happening to all of us because of these shitty lights that we have. Getting back to the topic, the eye, the SCN is the big focus. In medicine, the big focus is on the camera. That's why all these old people go see the ophthalmologist, and what do they get? Cataract surgery, right? Anybody know what they put in for cataract surgery after it's done? An implantable lens. And guess what that lens blocks? UVA, UVB, 100%, and also these days, 50% of blue light, in case you didn't know that. That's been a change since 2009. What people don't realize, 42% of sunlight that falls to Earth is infrared A light. It's balanced all the time by blue, okay? Especially when the sun rises. Now, this is a side picture of an eyeball. What you need to know, and this goes back to physics, in case you don't, blue light bends the most by gravitational lensing. It turns out this is important in the eye because when blue light comes through, it falls in front of the retina. That's the reason why when you use a computer screen or you use these horrible lights up here, you get visual obscuration. In other words, your vision gets worse. What does that cause? It causes you elongation of your eyeball. When your eyeball gets longer, you get myopia. What happens when you get myopia? The next step is you get retinal detachments. What's the end result? Acute macular degeneration. Anybody know anybody who's got that? Yeah, lots of people. And guess what else? Guess what causes cataracts? Blue light toxicity. Why? The brain is trying to protect itself from this light that's coming in. So it makes the lens hazy. So this doesn't happen. But why is it important to a mitochondriac? Well, it turns out in about 2003, 2004, through 2009, we had some really cool researchers that found out there's another opsin in the eye. And that opsin works with the retinal ganglion cells, and that's called melanopsin. Melanopsin is the hormone that runs the central retinal pathways in the eye. And it turns out they're really important at nighttime, and they link to melatonin, but not in the way most people think. The fovea is where the rest of the visual light spectrum fall. And it falls right here. Why? That's acute vision. That's your camera focus. That's what the ophthalmologists all pay attention to. They don't pay attention to this. The only ophthalmologists that do, you're going to hear about later, are the Japanese guys, who are the guys that I talked to 3 months ago. They've been on this way quicker than our American counterparts. But here's the key. I'm going to make a very controversial statement now for many people in this room. Central retinal pathway energizes everything distal to it. So let me explain that to you. It basically turns on your pituitary gland, and it turns on everything distal in the human brain. And I'm going to show you how. This paper, or I should say this gentleman, his name is Fritz Hallwich. He was an amazing cat. He was an ophthalmologist in Germany. He was born in the 1920s. He happened to live in a time where we didn't have intraocular lenses. One of the things that he noticed is that when he saw people with cataracts, he would cut the cataract out so they could see. And for those of you who don't know, this is what happened to Vincent van Gogh. You know, when he painted haystacks, the reason why he painted them in all different colors is because when you take a cataract out and you don't put a lens in, you can see UV. In case you didn't know that. So that's the reason why haystacks has all the different shades, because he was able to see it in so many different colors as the light changed. Well, it turns out this doctor actually practiced medicine in a time that we could never recapitulate now. That's why sometimes looking back is a good thing. And I started to look really far back. In fact, as a neurosurgeon, these guys, especially Cajal in 1891, he's the father of modern neuroanatomy. I started to find papers about this energetic pathway that has huge effects on growth and metabolism. through the eye. You didn't hear me say gut. You didn't hear me say food, did you? Turns out that Hulwich did something rather remarkable. And he wrote about it in this book here from 1979. And I guarantee you nobody in this room's ever read it. If you think Weston A. Price's book is huge, you should read this sucker, because it's unbelievable what he did. He basically took cataracts out of people and then noticed and watched them and saw that their growth and metabolism improved tremendously. They started to lose weight. They started to feel better. They started to sleep better. And he documented it all. And guess what? He didn't just do it in humans. He did it in all kinds of animals. And he documented the color changes that occurred on animals after he took the cataracts out, how their coats changed, their surfaces, how they started to act on the farm. Okay? That's how important this was. And he went even further. He checked their urine. And you know what he found? He found there was metabolites of hormones that occurred after he took the cataract out that weren't there before. So in other words, light was able to make chemicals in us that weren't there before. Doesn't that sound a lot like E equals MC squared? Like, how did light get turned into things with structure? How does this really happen? Do you really think that you need it all from diet and exercise? There's another way. Most of the ophthalmologists I talked to 3 months ago didn't know a damn thing about Fritz Hulwich. And he was an ophthalmologist and well published. And the crazy thing is there was another guy that you're going to learn about a little bit later named John Ott. And you know what he was famous for? He was Walt Disney's animator that did time-lapse photography. Turns out he made some key investigative slides for Disney and dropped it, but then he took it to the medical boards and different physicians who let it go by the wayside. And what he found is that when he took plants and he put them in different light, the chloroplast molecules rotated faster than not. Then he decided to do it on animals, and he found out that one of the cells in the eye called the retinal pigmentum epithelium, which you're going to hear about shortly, at the base of the eye has melanin granules that absorb what? UV light, because it's made out of those things that we talked about, rotates faster, and guess what it makes? What Ruben talked about, a DC electric current in the eye. So that means you can regenerate tissues when you have a high DC electric current. Isn't that right, Ruben? Didn't Becker tell us that? Isn't that interesting? He went even further. And this is probably one of the most counterintuitive things I'm going to tell you. This is a picture of people's pituitary glands who were blind and who could see. What did he do? He went the extra distance. This is what I want you to focus in on. Light slows, energy is lost, the pituitary gets bigger. When I saw this, I immediately realized that everything in medicine was completely ass backwards. Why? Why did I say that to you? Everybody in this room, except the people that heard me talk last year, believe that people get fatter because they eat too much. Turns out it's exactly the opposite. So when you sprain your ankle, does your ankle get bigger or smaller? Okay. When you have heart failure, does your heart get bigger or smaller? Okay. Just so you know, he said it gets bigger. Here's the third one. When the star in the sky dies, does it get bigger or smaller? It gets a red giant. So everything that loses energy in the universe gets bigger. What did Hulwich tell us? Hulwich showed that when light slows, the pituitary gets bigger. You know why it's getting bigger? Because light is getting turned into chemicals that you call hormones that go in to the nuclear DNA to change it. Guess what that means? That means light is capable of altering DNA. It also means that light is capable of potentially reversing my previous problem. Meaning that when you're obese, maybe your main problem is you're not getting enough sunlight, and it has nothing to do with food. How's that for a shocker? That's what Fritz Hulwich taught me. So I didn't believe any of this. And most of you may not know this, but I went to medical school at LSU. And there's a very, very famous ophthalmologic researcher named Nicholas Bazan who's done incredible work. And you know what he's cut his teeth on? DHA. He's like the DHA guy in the world. And I learned this back in 95 through 99 when I was there. He taught me a lot of crap. And crap that I thought was crap because it wasn't important to neurosurgery, but 12 years ago it became extremely important. To me right now, it's huge. And the number one effect right here in this central retinal pathway between the clock and your hypothalamus, you have two loops in the eye. One loop's called the short loop, the other one's called the long loop. And what it does, it recycles DHA constantly as light comes through. But the key thing that I realized, Bazan taught me, that this central retinal pathway and the retina had more DHA in it than any other part of the brain. And I thought that was bizarre. Then I realized why. When I started to learn about physics, remember the guys who came out with GPS devices, Garmin devices? Well, it turns out that the clock here has to run faster than all the other clocks in the rest of your body. If it doesn't work. So if you have an iPhone and you use it to go to a restaurant here in Vermont, the clock that's up in the sky up there has to run 38 microseconds faster than the one in your iPhone. Otherwise, you're going to be 100 kilometers off. That would not work. You'd wind up in New Hampshire. It wouldn't be good. It turns out in your eye, the exact same thing happens. And the reason why DHA in the eye is important, because this DC electric current runs faster than every other part of your body. That's the reason why DHA is important. And it turns out when you have too much blue light, because blue light is the antidote for vitamin A and for DHA. Do you know why? What kind of light makes vitamin A? Anybody want to guess? You heard somebody talk about it earlier. Blue light makes vitamin A. How do you know? What's the complementary color to blue? Yellow. And guess what? Vitamin A is yellow. Isn't that shocker? That's the link between this. Light frequencies control the level of vitamin A in the eye. And also, every opsin in the body is tied to retinol, to vitamin A. There's not an opsin in the human body that's not tied to it. That's the reason why, and Chris is here so he can verify this. He wrote a very nice blog post, I don't know how long ago it was, that there's data from N. Haynes that when you have deficiencies of vitamin A, it's tied to obesity. And nobody has told you why. I'm telling you why right now. Because you're blue light toxic. Blue light makes you fat. Okay? Really fat. And it starts right here. The reason why this is not equal is because light, the evolution of light, does not equal the evolution of our retinal anatomy. I started to put this together pretty quick. Then I started to look at sunrise and sunset. When the sun rises, you have visible and infrared light. You don't have any UV initially. But guess what else happens at this time? You don't need your rods and you don't need melanopsin in the morning. So guess when they regenerate? They regenerate in the AM. Guess what else happens? You actually make melatonin in your eye in the morning. The hormone of darkness is first made in the human body in the eye. In the morning, when you have a combination of UVA and infrared A light. And the reason for you is what I told you before about the aromatic amino acid that absorbs that. And you see that UVA light doesn't show up here. So for the guy last night, who I don't know who you are, but asked the question, how am I going to do this as an executive and fix my life? This is the key. You need to reconstruct your AM to fix your real problem. And that was what I had to do to my surgery schedule. That's why I stopped operating at 7 a.m. Started all my cases at 8:30. It's also the reason why I moved to the 28th latitude from where I lived. Why? Because UVA light shows up. Now, you guys here that live in Vermont got some bad news for you. If you've got a mitochondrial disease, which most diseases are, you need that UVA light, and it shows up later here than it does in New Orleans. So guess what that means? You need more control of your life in the morning than any other time. That's the practical advice, okay? These are not Jack Cruz's rules. These are the sun's rules, okay? Sunset, this is when you don't need color vision. This is the camera. They regenerate at nighttime. There's another opsin that you may not know about. It's called neuropsin. It's on the cornea of the eye, and it's on your skin. It's a UVA light detector. Melatonin is considered the hormone of darkness. Remember those photon traps I told you about? Well, guess what? That neuropsin tells the brain that UVA light is present, and it can begin to make melatonin from sunlight. Now, what are all the effects? Here's the quantum paradox. It's a nighttime hormone because that's what the functional medicine doctors in my profession have told you. And that's true because that's when it's active, but it only activates when light is not present, but it's remade first in the eye and then generalizes all along the brain. The other key thing, and I'll just point this out to you right here. This one should open everybody's eyes. It reduces energy production in mitochondria. UVA light turns down energy production. And why is that important? There's the fourth cytochrome is cytochrome C oxidase in everybody's mitochondria in here. Anybody want to guess what kind of light turns it on? Red light. UV light turns it off. And the reason why, what does UV light make in the skin or the eye? Nitric oxide. And guess what? That's why UV light lowers your blood pressure, because it causes 40 to 60% of dermal pooling, and it helps your heart. But what people don't realize the effect is, it turns off your ability to make ATP from food electrons. You have this direct loop that goes to the pineal gland, but the energy comes in here. This energy has to be balanced, blue and red. What does this first do? It turns your pituitary gland on. That's the reason why the question that was asked to Ruben before is extremely important. Blue light balanced by red is what turns on hormone production. If you look at a circadian mechanism, all the hormones are made usually from 6 to 10 in almost any medical textbook. They're assuming that you live around the 30th latitude. That's not true. It's different at different places, but it's a key. Anybody want a shocker? What turns off hormone production? UVA light on the skin. First time it shows up. UV light is what turns off in your blood plasma. This is the key, folks. Blue light that's man-made is absolutely destroying us, and it affects the way your mitochondria can handle electrons from food. That's where the food story comes in, because the more those respiratory proteins get stretched out, it doesn't matter what you eat. You're going to have a problem. You have to shrink those respiratory proteins closer together so they can do what they do. The laws of nature are not subject to man's beliefs. They're not subject to man's experiments. It's a pretty powerful statement. And you may think it's, I should say, obnoxious. I don't think it is, based on what I showed you. Why? Because now there's researchers out there showing you that it really does begin in the eye and in the skin. That's how leptin and all this is linked. And the cool thing about this, my prescription doesn't cost you a goddamn thing. And what did Einstein say? In the end, the answer will always be pretty simple. So what's my takeaway? Make like the Sphinx. Ground to the ground, take as much clothes off you can. For the ladies in the audience, there's a company in the UK, I'm putting this on Sarah. They're called Kaniki. They make bathing suits that allow UV penetration so you can be naked without naked. Okay? And I can tell you, coming from the South, it's my biggest problem. I think up here in Vermont, you guys are a little bit more hippie-ish and weird, so it probably would work, but you guys don't have great quantum yield here. So the reason I mention it to you is whatever you can do to help yourself. An infrared A light can work many different ways. We came up with the Quantlet, but you can use sauna. You can use the geothermal units like that you see in Iceland. That's the reason why the Finnish and the Scandinavians always use heated pools. Why? Because they're getting part of the sunlight they don't get through heating. Remember, heat is infrared light, and we don't realize it.
Well, that was really interesting there, dude. You figure out how to bring yourself back in. Well, I guess that's why, people down in the South and Texas and everything might be a little smarter than the rest of the country, because we're down here closer to the equator. We get the longer sunlight days. Just saying. Just saying. Mikey Baseball, good to see you out there. Benku Lurkin. All right. Angry Mary, good to see you too. Yeah, man. So there you are. Unmute, Zoe. Unmute, brother. Zoe, you got to unmute also. You got to unmute. I don't know what's happening there, brother, but you got to unmute. All right. Well, you're muted, but hey, man, I'm wondering if you muted on the StreamYard there. No, yeah. Okay. In the studio on my end, it shows you're unmuted, but you got something muted there, Hoss. They can hear me. They can't hear you. Oh, the Texan, tell us a story. There once was a lady from Nantucket. No, I don't want to say that one. I don't know what she did, though. But oh wow. Yeah, since you run both of them there, dude, like due diligence said, it might be the OBS. I don't know. I only run StreamYard. I don't double up. So whatever it is, it's simple. Whatever you did, it's simple. So Zoe and I was talking earlier about what that video was about, and Robert F. Kennedy, coming into the Trump administration, he's going to be doing a lot of big changes, man. He really is, with our health and the FDA and all this stuff. And Zoe played that about the light, and I don't know. There was a lot of information there. Like Prairie Fire said, it's kind of like drinking out of a fire hydrant. You got to go back and listen to it again. There was a lot of information, but very interesting for sure. And the video I got coming up that I picked to accompany his video is about the political side of it and what about the incandescent light bulb and stuff. It's pretty crazy what's happened. A lot of people, it's been so long ago since George Bush was president, a lot of people have forgotten that he's the one that started this crap about outlawing the incandescent light bulb and going to LEDs and stuff like that, and those mercury filled light bulbs and everything, the ones that are just really unhealthy for us all the way around, especially the mercury ones. I mean, man, when those break, you need legally you need a hazmat team to come clean it up. It's an inhalation hazard. It's poisonous, the gas that's in there. But these have been forced on us. LEDs, not so much, but still, they're not the white light and all the light bands that we need. So, yeah, it's really interesting that Zoe played that video. You still ain't there, Hoss. Sorry. There's something simple you did, brother. Hey, do me a favor. Since I set that up, while you're trying to figure that out, you want to go ahead and go to that video that I mentioned? Yeah, might as well. Hey, but do yourself a favor. Do not, under any circumstance, ask what else could go wrong. Don't ask that. But yeah, so this video, George Bush actually started this crap. He signed the bill into law to kill the incandescent light bulb. Okay. And then it was the Biden administration that made it illegal to sell them. So while there is a stockpile of them, they're dang near impossible to get. If somebody's selling them, they're breaking the law. And I got the goods on that right here. Zoe's pulling it up. Hopefully we got some audio on this.
The clock is ticking this morning. Come Tuesday, it'll be illegal for stores to sell you an incandescent light bulb. That's the type of light bulb that radiates heat when you turn it on. Now everyone will have to buy LED or compact fluorescent light bulbs, which the Biden administration says are better for the environment, will save you money in the long run. Now, some are calling the ban government overreach. A lot of people don't like being told what to do. Stephanie Haynes joins us live from Dallas. And so, Stephanie, it won't be illegal to actually own or have these light bulbs, right? But it'll be illegal to sell them.
Marky, that is exactly right. It is not illegal to have. So if you still have incandescent bulbs in your home, you can keep using them for as long as you need. But come Tuesday, it will be illegal to sell them. So when you go to your hardware store, you're not going to be able to buy incandescent bulbs. Instead, as you said, compact fluorescent light bulbs or LED lights, just like this one that I have in my hand here, looks the same as an incandescent bulb for many reasons. But this idea that sunsetting, phasing out incandescent bulbs has been in the works for a long time. It actually started under President George W. Bush, and then military installations actually started to phase out incandescent bulbs during President Obama's administration. President Trump slowed down the consumer portion of it, and now the ban is happening for consumers under President Biden. The Department of Energy says LED lights provide more light using 75% less energy and last 25 times longer. It also says this will be better for the environment and save families around $100 a year. However, some believe the government is overstepping with this ban. Last week, a House subcommittee discussed this very issue at a hearing entitled Canceling Consumer Choice, examining the Biden administration's regulatory assault on Americans' home appliances. And that is in part a reference to gas stoves, which the House just passed a bill last month to prohibit banning.
I'm happy the Department of Energy is out here making sure that we can all save money because we're too dumb to figure out how to do it ourselves.
These updated regulations are not an attempt to ban or take away appliances like gas stoves, light bulbs, or dishwashers.
Now, to be clear, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is not considering a ban on gas stoves, and the Department of Energy cannot come into your home and take your stoves or take your incandescent light bulbs. However, it is interesting. If you are caught selling an incandescent light bulb come Tuesday, you could be fined up to $542, Adrian.
Oh my gosh, Stephanie, I'm not trying to laugh right now out loud. I'm like, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your stove.
Hide your light bulbs.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation.
Okay, yeah, you can kill it right there. Yeah, so then what happened? This is an old report here, man. And what happened later when Biden got in office? Then now they want to go after the gas stoves and water heaters and everything like that. Dude, you are still muted, man. What did you do? Oh my God. This is one hell of an interesting topic, too. Like I said, you brought the scientific side of it, and I was bringing the political side of it, that this actually started with George Bush. Yeah, a Republican, which was governor of Texas. So there ain't much that George Bush didn't do that got by me because I stayed on top of it because he was a governor of Texas. He's the reason why we got the government spying on us on our computers and our phones and our smart TVs and our smart appliances and all that through the Patriot Act. So yeah, there you go with that. Freaking man, I tell you what, it's Trump. Now I do remember Trump in his first term in office. He mentioned this, and if you remember, guys, he was talking about faucets and showers and all that. How the government's even restricted that, even how much water your toilet can use. Of course, that goes back. I don't know how many decades that goes back, but in that same line of breaking regulations, so to speak, Trump was talking about the light bulbs and bringing the incandescent light bulb back. So hopefully he does because they're cheaper. I don't understand. If I want a low efficient light bulb, I'll buy a low watt light bulb. I'm just saying. Sorry, brother, you're not there. My gosh. Hey, this has turned into a comedy hour of its own, brother. It really has. This is pretty good. I don't know what you're saying, Hoss. I have no idea. Except for you are muted. I can see that you're muted in the studio here on StreamYard. Or you think you found it? Okay, now unmute yourself on StreamYard for sure. No, they didn't do it, brother. Hey, let's play. If you don't mind, let's play that Omeletto comedy, Dick Van Dyke. That's a decent little piece there, and it's pretty damn funny in itself. You got the audio going when you're playing videos, and I'm fine. Yeah, I don't know. Did you hit the little button on your mic or something, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, brother. Can't hear you. Yeah, due diligence. It's not Streamlab, it's StreamYard. That's what I use. Anyway, I practiced a lot with it over the years, and I got it down pretty good. So I don't know what the audio problem is with Zoe. I tell you what, man. I can see you're typing in the chats and everything. Yeah, I see that. But if you want to play that, yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Dick Van Dyke thing. I'll go ahead and set it up, and I'll give you a call on the phone here in just a minute as this is playing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what it is. We're going into the holiday season now. And, starting off with Thanksgiving, it kind of kicks off, the holiday spirit all the way through Christmas and New Year's, right? So this is a cool little video that I found. It's an old joke. I used to be a huge fan of Dick Van Dyke when I was a kid, just like a lot of us were. The Dick Van Dyke Show. Well, I found this, and it's perfect for the holidays. This is a very old joke that they play out, and I think this is just really, really great how they did this. And it was kind of good seeing Dick Van Dyke out there. Heck, he's older than Willie Nelson. Willie's 91. Dick Van Dyke's older than that. So, okay, man. Fire it up and let her run. See if you can figure that out. I'll give you a call here on the old telephone. We'll go with Mall Bell on this one, or AT&T. Thank you, Girl Patriot, for making that sticker and dropping that. Man, you're hell on fire with those.
This is Abe.
Hello, son.
Hey, Pop.
Are you busy?
I'm always busy. I'm driving. What's up?
Well, son, I hate to ruin your day, but I have some rather bad news. Your mother and I are getting a divorce.
What?
55 years of marriage, that much misery is all I can take.
No, wait. Just hold on a second. Don't say anything. Just hold on. Wait.
You all right? You sound like you hit something.
Just, I just pulled over. Just hold on a second. Pop, yeah, this is crazy. What are you talking about?
Well, Abe, your mother and I are just sick and tired of each other. We're sick of looking at each other. And to be honest with you, I'm sick of talking about this. Would you do me a favor? Call your sister in Hong Kong, tell her about it, will you?
Hello?
Hold on. Open sleigh.
Is this the international operator? Hey, hold on, I can't hear you. There's a train going by. Hello?
Jingle bells, jingle. All the way. Oh, what fun it is to.
Yeah, hello? Is this the international operator? Yeah, I'd like to call Hong Kong. Hello? Hello? International operator? Great. Listen, I'm trying to make a cell phone call to a cell phone in Hong Kong.
这是国际客服部门，你有一个从 USA 来的 cellular call， 接受这个来电吗？
Sarah,
Yeah.
it's Abe.
Oh, Abe. What's Why are you calling me in the middle of the night?
Listen, are you awake?
I'm sleeping. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, probably.
Are you sitting down?
Wait, no. Make it fast. I don't know what's happening and you're scaring me.
Okay. Listen, do you know how difficult it is to make a cell phone call to Hong Kong?
Hurry up. You're making me really afraid.
All right. Mom and Dad are getting a divorce.
What? They are not getting a divorce. Listen to me. They are not getting divorced.
No, it sounded really serious.
No, you've got. Listen, I am going to fix this. I'm going to call him right now.
What are you going to do? Sarah? Hello?
Me, hey, I'll just stay for the. Hello. Hello.
Dad?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Happy holidays.
What does that mean?
Honey, I have some bad news. Your mother and I are getting a divorce.
No, you're not getting divorced.
Honey, you have to understand, people change. You know, your mom and I.
Oh, God, no, listen, you guys, I don't want you, do not do anything until I get there. Do you understand? Abe and I are going to come out there tomorrow, and I don't want you to make a move or do a thing until we get there. Do you hear me? And the dog, God, the dog. Listen, Dad, you and Mom are having a temporary, I don't know, like a temporary phase of insanity. You don't know what you're doing, and you need to wait for me and Abe to get there and straighten you guys out, because this is really serious and really destructive.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Abe and I are going to come out there tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Honey. Good news. Kids are coming home for Christmas.
For Christmas? No. Really?
And they're paying their own airfare.
You shitting me?
That right there is just freaking priceless, man. So I don't know if anybody can hear me or not. I can't see myself on the screen. Oh, well, all I see is black screen. I think that's all they see too, brother. There we go. Now, okay. Nope, still ain't got it, brother. Still ain't got it. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. That's good. I mean, I love that. That sound like, honestly, that sound like something my dad would have done, you know, to get us all back together. I mean, he had that kind of mind like that. He really did. There was a trickster and a half. He was always 3 or 4 steps ahead of everybody else, man. So anyway, I love that joke right there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, I know y'all can hear me. I know you can hear the videos, but something's going on behind the scenes with Zoso Studio. So what we're going and not just one, but 2. So what we're going to have to do, folks, we're going to go ahead and kill the stream here in just a second. We're going to kill it. Zoe's going to reboot, revamp, and we're going to be coming back on. Give us about 5 minutes or so. Give us about 5 minutes. And we're going to do maybe a little more than 5, because we're going to do behind the scenes testing and all that and find out what's going on. But we will be right back. I promise, folks. I promise. We'll be right back. All right, Zoe, I tell you what, you want to at least wave at everybody? Oh, man. All right, folks, we'll be back here shortly. We promise. No outro, brother. Just kill it.